Hey, my friends, how goes it? It is your pal Dave with a long overdue update from the job site slash home. Man, it's been like 3 weeks, but I really wanted to have something to show you guys, and there wasn't a whole lot that was going on until this last week. So now suddenly things are broken loose, and I've got just a ton to show you. And today is just a freaking red letter day because of that, my friends, because that right there, what you see right there, that is that electrical connection to the grid. I've never been happier to be part of the matrix. But look at that extra long line that they ran all the way from the street light over to here. So, I guess screw my neighbor. Either way, he wanted me to go underground. That was going to cost like $3,000. And so it's when it helps to have friends at ESA. It's like, nope, you know what? Look at this. We're just going to take care of it. We're going to take care of the extra length and get it squared away. So anyway, that's a little longer than normally what they allow. But, it's all about who you know in this country. It really is, and making the right friends. And I think that's what I did. So we are set to go, except we have not made, everything's ready to go, except that connection right there that's all wrapped up. That's where we are currently still connected to Chuck's house. But all we have to do is take this connection here on the right and disconnect it. All the rest of that goes down to Chuck's. And then this gets connected in there. And all of that's already all plumbed in and ready to go. And this right here, this is brand new. This piping, yeah, look at that. They actually just did this clamping on here. You see that? I mean, these guys don't mess around. I really need to do something a little bit more sturdy with this here. We will. That's for water. But, I've really got to give Eduardo credit. His electrical work is really top notch. So electrical, that's a big thing. Second thing, one of the reasons that I wasn't able to give you guys updates, in fact, the main reason was that for whatever reason, my wire transfer that I was sending from my U.S. account to my Costa Rican account got frozen because the bank here was doing an upgrade to their system. And so all of the wires, all the incoming wires were delayed. And, I went and looked online, and I was not the only one, but these guys are like, I waited 8 days, I waited 9 days. I was like, I waited 18 days. I sent my wire request on, excuse me there, babes. Hi, babe. I sent my wire request on October 31st, and it didn't come in until November 18th. What are we today? We're Saturday. I think we're at the 20th, right? Yeah. Week coming up on Thanksgiving here. Not so much here, but so they have been hard at work on the plumbing, on the pools. Unfortunately, the guys who kind of originally set this up with the plumbing didn't do the greatest job in orienting where they put the pump houses, these little structures right here. So like on this one here, you see that they had to come so the access points for whatever reason on this one are right there. So kind of the wrong spot, but you'll cover that up with some bushes and stuff and have something that's growing and hanging over and you won't even freaking notice that. So, but look at this. This is the other thing too that we're working on. So these are privacy fences, and I know they look a little rough right now, but here, let me go over to this side so you get a little bit of a better orientation. So I wanted to make sure that we had privacy here for each one of the pools. And I wanted to do something really natural. I talked about doing like a bamboo fence. And the guys are like, well, you're still going to want to have it on some sort of wire structure because the bamboo just does die eventually. It does deteriorate. And then it kind of defeats the purpose of the privacy. So they said the best thing to do is let's create a wire skeleton like what we've got here. And then there's a mesh made out of coconut husk material that you drape over it. So it's brown, kind of organic looking in the short term. And it definitely does create privacy. You put it on both sides, there's absolutely no way you're seeing through it. And then the idea is we'll do some plants along here that Ricardo had mentioned. There are a few that are really conducive to growing up fences like this. Now the one other thing that we're going to do here is we're going to make these kind of enclosed. And what I mean by that is the idea is that you don't want people to be able to look in when you're having fun, you know, sexy naked time in your pool. But as I'm walking up here, I can totally look down and see you having fun, sexy naked time. So what we need to do is create a top here too. That'll just be the exact same material as this. So it'll kind of, from this corner here, it'll dovetail into the corner of the deck right there, bink, bink, like that. So this will all be covered with that same material as well. So then it'll really create a nice sense of privacy. You know, we can do a little extension off of the fence if we need to, just to create a little bit more privacy for each one of the patios. But I mean, it's not like you can't be completely private. I mean, regardless of how high the fence goes, once I'm standing here, I'm still going to be able to see portions. I mean, this will all be, so I'd be able to see over in this area. That's about it. But don't bother. Don't try and look at people. Leave them alone. But at night, you're nice and protected. You can have your fun in the pool during sunset and everything like that. And no creepers or anything. So, but, I mean, it's like if you're on this one here, you're really able to see everybody else's. So we do the best we can with the privacy, I guess is what I'm getting at. Look, you can see the one here. Let me zoom in. So I put down that artificial lawn, artificial grass, and then Ricardo's like, oh shit, we need to put a coat of waterproofing down underneath that. So we got to pull that back up, but it looks really cool for now. And I got those two really cool bulletproof Adirondack chairs from Pequeño Mundo. Bulletproof because, you know, people aren't always that friendly on rental stuff. This one's my unit. You don't need to see this. Let's zoom back out. Zoom, baby. There you go. Or go wide. Zoom out is kind of an oxymoron. You really only zoom in. So, what else do we have to do? Gravel's coming here soon. I got all this raked out and nice and leveled, and I cleaned up all the little bits and pieces, all the little nails, things like that were in there. So gravel's coming this next week, but the guys wanted to finish the fences. So there's going to be just a portion right here. I mean, these are designed to be mostly privacy, but I had them do this big hefty one right here because on this one I thought I could do a gate. I could do like a swinging gate. That way I could have a spot where I could definitely keep the dogs in here. So when I have guests in these other two, the dogs aren't bothering people who don't want to be bothered by doggies. But the idea was, initially the idea was going to be that the fence was going to come all the way along here, and then this piece of ground, what's up, baby? This piece of ground here would be part of this yard, but it really was this was going to be a dead space. Nobody would use this. I mean, certainly not the people in this property here, but it makes it so much nicer now to have it being part of this space here. So it creates a little bit more of like a courtyard. I can do some vegetation in there and make it look really pretty and everything like that. So that's why you see the fence kind of just barely inset there. We've got enough where we can do some plants along the edges, and then probably do maybe a little bench right there. But this is also where the stairs are when you're coming out. So maybe, I don't know what we'll do there. We'll definitely have some plants growing in there at some point somewhere. Maybe just on the outside growing over. Oh, all fun things to worry about in the future. Look, they built these awesome covers for the groundwater collection. That's what those guys are. the grounding rods are in there, so hopefully less likely to have everything explode when you get hit by lightning, which is quite possible up here. But this last week, after I finally got my money released from the bank, I was able to go shopping. So I actually just came back from San Jose, where I picked up this awesome 24,000 BTU air conditioner, $200 from a guy just on the west side of San Jose. So he seemed pretty straight up. These came out of a business that was remodeled, and I mean, everything looks in great condition. So Facebook Marketplace, baby, that's what you do. So that was when, of course, that was earlier today, at the same time as the electric company showing up. I can't get over that. Look at that beautiful electric line. Okay, so here's one of the fences essentially done, but without the fabric over it. Have to admit, it's a little taller than maybe I wanted. But I mean, eventually this is all just going to be a green wall. It's all just going to be a green wall, so it doesn't really matter. But this walk space here, it's just wide enough. They could have come over the septic pit if they'd wanted to. I wouldn't have had a problem if they had come just a couple inches wider, but I'm not going to pick on them about it. When you're in here, you're parked here, you'll also really easily be able to walk through here. So when you come down the stairs, you can either come to the left or the right. And I'll do steppers and everything and make this all look pretty, clean all this gunk up here. But you'll be able to come through here. And then I found these cool little partitions that are about 3.5, 4 feet tall, right in that neck of the woods right there, with planters on the top of them, and they're kind of in sections of a couple meters where you can move them around, because I want to be able to create a partition and a little bit more of a sense of privacy from the garage space to the pool space. I don't want you to feel like when you're in the pool that you're in the garage at the same time. So I showed them to Danny, my buddy, and he thinks we can probably fabricate them ourselves. So that's going to be the idea there. I just want to make sure that this is a nice, intimate little spot here, right? This is Honeymoon Central. Then look at this. I took some pictures the other day. The sun is now setting over the water right there this time of year. So from now until the shortest day of the year, which I think is later in December, right? The sun will just keep moving over the water, and it's rising over the water too. I thought it would be like if it's moving this way, then I would be thinking the sun on this way would be moving that way, or when it's coming up. What do I know? It might actually be. But isn't this a very inviting spot right here? Sitting here in these chairs looking out over this view. And even when that fence is done, so there's the edge of the fence in the frame, you still have, just an exceptional view. And again, where you see the little bodega over there, someday my thought is that's going to be my little owner's apartment. Nothing crazy, just a little one-bedroom apartment. I'd really like to have all 3 of these as rentals. If I'm over there, gives me just a little bit more space between people. And when I have dogs and cats, not everybody wants that. So this one's really done for the most part. We need to do that light right there, that motion light. We need to do that motion light. Don't really know why they're not done yet. Look, this week I got these cute little bistro set right here, kind of nice. It works even for me, It's not, sorry, there's my finger. How's that for a spot right there? That's nice, right? Not too shabby. Oops. Okay, so let's see. working on some other furniture on Facebook Marketplace. But I think tomorrow I'm going to work on getting these blinds up. I got the curtain rods, curtains. It's where the AC will go. I just put that little organizer together. I got a couple end table lamps. I need end tables and a bed, so it needs to go there. But I think I found one on Facebook Marketplace. I just have to coordinate, you know, something like that. You need a truck. The Jeep's not going to cut it. I'd like to do some mirrored doors there. Make the space just feel huge with some mirrored closet doors right there. There's a mirror with a light in it, TV bracket, a clock, window cover for there. I'm ordering window coverings for the bathroom. I couldn't find those. I got this fan. You always need a fan. I got the windows open in here and it's just really nice. Right now the breeze is just blowing right through. I got a bunch of kitchen stuff here. Some of this was things that that I had from my friend Pamela. Thanks, Pammy, putting this stuff to use. But you know, I bought some other stuff here to make this cute little kitchenette here on a cutting board, and I think I'll do a shelf in the corner there, just for some decor, maybe. But hey, buddy, what do you think? We've got I got the garbage can. Got this cute little breakfast balcony, I like to call it. You know, the sun's rising just right there, right now. And in mine, I've got the same thing down there. And I love standing out here in the mornings. It's just so quiet. You can hear the waves, and you know, just nice and still. Perfect time of day. So I've got those. I'm going to probably put up some indoor-outdoor blinds right here too, so you can lower them just a little bit. So when you are out here, at least for people that are at the pool, they don't feel like, I mean, because this is the other reality too. I don't care how much I try and section off the backyard. I'm just trying to make the pool a little bit more private. That's it. I mean, this is always going to be exposed. But I didn't want to lose these little balconies. These were going to be the staircase to the rooftop deck that never was. Just, oh, that was a sad story. It just, the engineering of this place just wasn't right. It wasn't going to work. So, oh, look at that driveway all ready to go. The guys came, come on, baby. Let's close this up. The guys came to clean the lot the other day. They did a good job of getting the garbage. Step out there so I can show you what I'm talking about. They got a lot of the construction garbage. Oh, that view never gets old, does it? So, if you remember, there were a bunch of piles of construction garbage along the perimeter. It still feels like there's a bunch of piles of construction garbage. They took a lot of the actual garbage, but there's a lot of this metal that they want to recycle. So there's value in that. Ricardo, the contractor, Eduardo's the electrician. Ricardo wants to buy a lot of this metal from me. He can use it for other projects. So that's why that's still here. All things in time. I really just want to get this cleaned up. I want to get these all finished and furnished and up on the Airbnb market as fast as I can. I'm really just going to focus on getting this first one furnished first. You know, I'm just watching my expenses, and my thinking is, let me just stagger them by, you know, a couple weeks, maybe a month. And then if I do need to purchase any additional stuff, or I feel like maybe my coffers are getting low, I can fund all that stuff from the deposits that I'm getting for rentals, right? So anyway, but if I can just get one of these suckers going, this one obviously, wouldn't that be awesome? But nobody wants to come out and look at this, so this has got to be part of it. I mean, I don't mind if it's a dirt lot. We'll just scrape it and make it look good, you know, drag it and everything, fill in those remaining ruts there from when we had the idea of the original the original big house going right there. For those of you who haven't seen this before, my plan right now is to leave this open, turn it into more of like an open garden space with a great big hacienda on the other end, where you can host things like birthday parties and Christmas parties, things like that. Have an outdoor kitchen, but I mean, this is just a freaking amazing view. Sunset's right there this time of year. So, I mean, this is just the $1 million view up here. So I wanted to create a space that I could share with all of you guys. So even if you're not staying in one of these little Villa Cabina whatevers, you know, you come up here for a party or something like that, or whatever, you know. But yeah, so that's my dream for this piece of land. It doesn't look like it's as big when I look at it through the lens, but it's pretty good size. So yeah, so that's what the guys have been working on. You know, a bit of cleanup, working on the fences. You know, they hit high gear as soon as the money hit, after waiting 2 freaking weeks. Thank goodness they were flexible. They just picked up other jobs, just little day gigs here and there. And then as soon as I was like, the money's here, they came on back and we got right back to it. But at this point, it feels like everything's more or less done. I mean, I see tiny little things like a couple light fixtures up there, but I think they're in here. I think they're in here somewhere. And I think now that we have our own electricity, I think maybe that's what Eduardo's been waiting on, because he wants to be able to test all this stuff. And, you know, you can't test anything if you don't actually have juice running into it. But all the rest of this, so there will be another section of fence that goes, like, kind of hooks onto this wall and then goes to this post here. And then this will come to this spot right here. But we wanted to make sure that we left a straight shot going up and down the stairs, so there's plenty of room. You know, God forbid somebody's, you know, on a stretcher or something like that. It's a lot easier to get them out. We can create some sort of threshold between there, but the fence will come to here. So this will be a little bit of a step up here, and then in here, and up we go. Nothing to see on the second one. I've only got a couple little this is and that's in there. But look, I got all this all raked, looking pretty, looking good to go. Dryer. Hey, I bought a new washing machine the other day. That was pretty big deal for me. So again, this is on this side. There's just going to be a little bit more of a dome. Oops, can I zoom out a little more there? No. Whoops, wrong way. So there's going to be a little bit of a dome, you know, it comes over here just so that you can't look in from straight up there. And then at some point we'll do a water feature right there. So just a little nook back here. I mean, you wouldn't use this space in this unit, but having it as a little bit more of an open courtyard for that unit makes it feel like, you know, a lot more space. I'll sneak around here. Okay, well, before I do that, I'm just going to wrap it up with you guys for the day. I think I showed you everything. Got some more artificial grass that's ready to go over there, but we still need to put that waterproofing on the top of that one, on the top of this one, and then unfortunately pull that one up and do it over there too. See, this is kind of unfortunate that this has to show like this, but a couple planters along here with plants draping over that, you'll never know that's there. And the way that the ferns grow in between these little cracks and crevices, they need nothing to grow. They'll cover all this stuff too. This is all just things to worry about right now. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for indulging in another couple weeks in Dave's life. I'll do another one of these. I said I wanted to do them every week, but you know, I don't want to waste your time if there's nothing to report. And I didn't have anything to report. I was in limbo for a couple weeks, and all my friends and family had to listen to me bitch about it. So, so finally we're back on track. I gave you the report, and fingers crossed everything keeps going smoothly. I want to have these on the market and renting so that I feel comfortable being able to leave this place and go home for Christmas this year and not feel like I have to borrow money to do it. But we will see. I mean, when these suckers are done, these are going to do really well. I know they will. I know they will. So, okay, my friends, love you. Till next time. Ciao.